Decades of human existence have witnessed the discrimination of women. Despite all the orders faced with, women still go the extra mile to ensure they provide solutions to pressing issues around them. Michelle Obama once opined that there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. And yes, she is right. Most women are always desirous of making the world a better place. As such, they exemplify dedication, devotion, and determination. Interestingly, the African continent is home to some of the world's remarkable queens who reigned in the medieval era. These women were exemplary and they played significant roles in shaping the history of the continent, especially during the pre- and the post-British colonial era. These Amazons led with wisdom, courage, and vision. Hence, they left indelible marks in the annals of African history. Now, this narration will spotlight 7 most powerful African queens who ruled from time immemorial. The number 1 is Amina, the Queen of Zaria in Nigeria. Amina was known as the Warrior Queen. She was the daughter of King Nakatau and Queen of Bakwa Turunko. She was a Hausa warrior queen of Zazzau, which is now the city of Zaria in Kaduna State, Nigeria. She was born in 1533 and her leadership abilities were discovered early by her grandfather, who nurtured her interest in both military and political matters. In 1566, her parents passed on and her brother became the king. During this period, Amina proved her mettle in the field of war and was known far and wide for her impeccable combat skills. Following the demise of her brother in 1576, Amina ascended the throne and launched a treasure trove of military campaigns. She was indeed the driving force behind the development of protective armor in the Hausa military. In addition, Amina increased Zazzau's borders and made the city a center of trade in the West African and Saharan regions. She was laudably responsible for building and fortifying the old city walls. And guess the number 2. It is Kandake of the Kingdom of Kush. Queen Kandake was the second of the 8 Kandakes of the ancient African Kingdom of Kush, which is the present-day South Sudan. Kandake, which means great woman, was regarded as one of the most dreaded war generals of our time. According to storytellers, she was known to be a phase, a tactical and all-embracing military leader. On top of that, she was respected for her excellent commanding skills. On this account, she became one of the strongest and bravest female soldiers during her lifetime. In short, Queen Kandake set a standard of excellence in the class of African warrior queens, and her defense against the Roman Empire cemented her legacy. Factually, her valor and leadership prowess are well documented in ancient hieroglyphics. And the third most powerful African queen in Africa is Makeda, the Queen of Sheba, Ethiopia. Queen Makeda is believed to be the queen of incredible strength. According to historical accounts, she survived a battle with the Serpent King, who was troubling the northern Ethiopian kingdom of Aksum. Her victory won her the kingdom's trust, and she was crowned Queen of Aksum. Makeda is famous for her connection with the biblical figure King Solomon of Jerusalem. They had a son named Menelik, meaning son of the wise, and he became the first imperial ruler of Ethiopia and the first of Aksumite kings. It is believed that Makeda and her son brought back the biblical Ark of the Covenant to Aksum, and she left a legacy as a prominent figure in the Old Testament history of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And the 4th powerful queen is Nefertiti, Queen of ancient Kemet in Egypt. Queen Nefertiti was one of the greatest African queens from ancient Egypt. She was the epitome of beauty, strength, and power. Indeed, she exemplified Nefertiti, which means a beautiful woman has come. From findings, she was born in a state located in modern-day Syria. And she was the great royal wife, also called chief consort of Akhenaten, an Egyptian pharaoh who ruled Egypt for a long time. Together, they had 6 children. In collaboration with her husband, she ruled during the wealthiest period of ancient Egyptian history. By the way, they shifted the viewpoint of religion. Thus, They influenced the practice of monotheism, the belief in only one God. They were responsible for establishing the cult of Aten, the Egyptian culture, thereby promoting the country's language as well as artwork. To date, a sandstone bust has become a global figure of feminine beauty and power. And number 5, Ya Ashantiwa, Queen of Ashanti Empire. Queen Ya Ashantiwa was born in 1840. She was the queen mother of Ejisu in Ashanti Empire, which is now part of modern-day Ghana. Further, she was solely responsible for presiding over the golden stool, which epitomized her power, culture, and stability within the land. As queen mother, she held the second highest position within the empire. In 1900, Queen Ya Ashantiwa led the Ashanti Rebellion, known as the War of the Golden Stool, against the British colonial masters. The valiant African warrior queen passed away in 1921. She remains a symbolization of bravery in the history of Ashanti Kingdom, and to honor her memory, Ya Ashantiwa Girls Secondary School was founded in Kumasi to encourage more female leaders in Ghana. And number 6, Queen Nandi of Zulu Kingdom, South Africa. Queen Nandi is another legendary African queen and historical figure. She was the mother of Shaka Zulu, one of the greatest kings of the Zulu Kingdom, and it is invigorating to state that she was a pillar of strength and support for her people. Her story is one of the resilience as a mother and one of the hope against social pressures and stigma. She was born in 1760 in South Africa. Out of wedlock, she gave birth to Shaka, and this exacerbated her suffering, but she weathered the storm. She was determined that Shaka would grow up to be a great king. Thanks to her grit, bravery, and persistence, Shaka did grow up to become a great king. Guess what? She supported her son tirelessly, and this resulted in scores of exploits and border extension during his monarchy. Eventually, she died in 1827. She may not have been a fierce African warrior queen such as Queen Amina or Queen Ya Ashantiwa. Nevertheless, she nurtured one of Africa's greatest warrior kings, Queen Moremi of Ile-Ife Kingdom in Osun State, Nigeria. Queen Moremi Ajasoro was born in Offa, a town in southwestern part of Nigeria. She became very famous for her courage, which delivered the people of Ile-Ife from slavery. She was married to Oromio, the son of Oduduwa. The people of Ile-Ife were invaded and oppressed by a certain tribe known as the people of the forest. To save her people, she pledged to the river spirit to sacrifice anything demanded of her if she could discover the secret and strategy of our oppressors. Queen Moremi helped to devise a plan that led to Ile-Ife's resounding victory over the invaders, and her people became free. To fulfill her promise, she returned to ask what the spirit would like for assisting her to emerge victorious. Sadly, the spirit demanded Moremi's only son. She obliged her request and sacrificed him accordingly. This sacrifice disheartened her subjects. To date, the people of Ile-Ife regard themselves as eternal children of Queen Moremi. Over and above that, they celebrate the Idi festival in honor of her selfless effort. You would be intrigued to know that the statue of Moremi, known as Queen Moremi Statue of Liberty, is the 4th tallest statue in Africa and the tallest in Nigeria. These early 7 queens have proved that the African continent owes much to its women and men alike. There are other women in African history and even today who exhibit the leadership skills, vision, and strength of character of these 7 mighty queens. Their sacrifices and Olympian effort will be etched in our memory until the cows come home, and hopefully many young African girls will read their stories, find the inspiration to believe in their dreams, unlock their potential, and strive for great heights. Which of the African queens do you admire the most? Comment below.